Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Let's Talk. The focus of today's episode is going to be learning more about our vision and the work we're doing with our multilingual learners, students that are being served through our multilingual learner services. And so with me today, I'm really excited to introduce Dr. Paula Wilkins, our Chief Academic Officer, and our new Director of Multilingual Learner Services, that is Jamil Bullock. And you've been appointed, how long have you been now with us in this role? You've been with us longer, but in this role, how long has it been?
Yeah.
A month?
A month.
A month.
Yes.
So this is a really new appointment, but you've been in this department in our serving our multilingual students for how long?
In the district, more than 2 years.
More than 2 years in the district.
In the district.
And in education, total
of more than 25 years.
More than 25 years. So that you are not necessarily new to this work. This has been a lifelong passion of yours to be an educator, and you've done incredible work already with our school district. And so today, this is going to be a chance for our viewers, our teachers, our parents, our students, and others to hear really the vision as we move forward. We know we've got a lot of work to do. We know that our multilingual learners is one of our fastest growing group of students. We know that our students that are coming in from they're a blessing to our district, and they are, I want the parents to know that we are excited to have them here in our district and to be able to serve them in the very best ways possible. And so that's what today's going to be about. Learning more about that and what our vision is and how we're going to make that happen in our school district. And I know you've got a lot to say about that. I'm going to start though with Dr. Wilkins, because all of this conversation today fits under the umbrella of all students future ready, prepared today for a changing tomorrow. And so Paula, will you first talk about what does that mean in general? What are we talking about when we talk about students being future ready? When we talk about the durable skills in our portrait and the rigorous academic content, like talk about what that means, and then what does that mean when we talk about then our students, our multilingual learners?
So for us, when we say future ready, we want all students to have access to high quality instruction, right? And to have the opportunities to experience ways to build those durable skills. So we think about skills like adaptability, we think about collaboration. All of us need those skills for life, to be life ready and to be productive. And no matter the support you may need additional, we have to provide those opportunities to our students. So when we talk about future ready, you'll hear us say deeper learning. So how do we integrate academic content with those skills that we want students to develop for life? And as we think about our ML learners, many of them have some language needs to help support their learning. And so how do we close the gap around their language supports so that they can access all the things in the curriculum to continue to soar? So that's our goal.
Absolutely. It's exciting, and it really is about all students. And I know inclusion is so important to us, and students learn best when they are with their peers, not just pulled out all the time to get additional services, but with their peers. And so I want to turn the focus to you now, Jamil, and would you start by talking about what is the ML program in our school district, and how do we serve students? And then I'm going to go into your vision, but like for the future, but like what is this program and how are we currently serving students?
Okay, so our multilingual learner program, we receive all the students and we assess them to make sure that they need that support with the English language proficiency. So we provide the services. We are based on the student needs. So we provide we provide instruction, specialized instruction in English, and we also support the cultural and social emotional, because we think that they need to feel that they are welcome to our schools. Absolutely. They are welcome to our classrooms, and they need to learn English. Yes, we know that they need to learn English, but also they need to learn content, and they need to feel safe. So our multilingual program focuses on those students that don't have the English knowledge yet.
Okay.
And we make sure that they learn the English, but also content, and they feel safe at schools. So that's what we provide.
And that's what you provide through the general ed class, through regular, all the classrooms, but then are there specific teachers? Can you describe specific teachers that might be providing those supports?
We start the process of services with our English language development teachers.
Okay.
Those are well known as the ESL teachers.
Okay.
And also the content teachers, the mainstream teachers, because we have the students in the classroom all day long. So we have the English language development teachers
Yes.
providing services, but also we are making sure that the mainstream teachers, they know how to scaffold the instruction for those specific students. And sometimes that scaffolding works for everyone.
Absolutely.
And that's what we want. We want everyone to receive the same services because we are focused on equity.
Yes, I remember many years ago in the district I was in when I was a teacher, we had to take 300 hours of, at the time it was ESOL, English Speakers of Other Languages, what it was called.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, the strategies we learned were great for all children. Like it really is, because all children are at different levels. And many of our second language, our English language learners, they were doing great in their country on grade level using their language, right? So when they come here, it really is just about the language, learning the language. But we don't want to hold them back either from excelling. And they learn the language pretty quickly, don't they, when they're children, would you say?
They do. The process that they have in their brain is amazing to see when they have already one language.
Yes.
And we can take from that language to get the connection and to learn the other language. Like my daughter is an example of that.
Yes.
That amazingness that happens in the brain.
Yeah.
And also for me, because I'm a multilingual learner.
Absolutely.
As well.
And it's such a gift and to be bilingual.
Yes.
And so I think that our kids, coming in with other languages and now learning English and being bilingual is just a gift, and it's going to serve them well in life. And I think us serving our students, making sure that they have exposure though, and that's what I love about your saying, they're being taught in English, and then there's someone there that can also make sure that their language continues to be celebrated and everything continues to be celebrated, but that we are not holding them back. And that's my biggest thing with our learners, and that's with students with disabilities, students that are learning English, that we do not hold them back by pulling them away and by not exposing them to all that they are capable of. I think that that's important. So, and you talked a little bit about in your interview, and I remember number one, you talked about your own story, about you being a multilingual learner, about your daughter. And so that was so important to me, because I think that our families seeing you, you're going to be an inspiration to them. Our students, you're going to be an inspiration to them. But you also talked about the importance of that planning together between your regular content, your general education teachers, and then your ESL teachers working together. Can you talk a little bit about more around your vision for that and how that might start to change within our school district?
That's going to be our focus during this school year, because we want that collaboration to happen as natural as it can be, because it's for our students, it's to serve better them. And if we have the content teachers and the ESL teachers working together, I think that those students are going to succeed in education. They're going to learn the content, and they're going to be able to understand what the teacher is saying, and they're going to learn the language. They're going to learn how to speak, read, write, and listen to the English language. And that's what we want. We want them to be able to do both things at the same time. But that depends on that collaboration that we have from the ESL teachers and the mainstream teachers. And we are working on that. And yesterday we started that process. We started those changes. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen, and we want to see that collaboration happen. It's natural. ESL teachers attending PLTs to know what's the content about, to know the standards, to share strategies.
Yes.
Because we want our English ESL teachers to be the experts at schools, and we want to build their capacity, because they are the experts in language acquisition, and we want them to share those strategies with the mainstream teachers, with the instructional facilitator, with the MCLs, with the principal, because they are the experts, and that collaboration is going to happen, and we started yesterday.
That's great. And Paula, with your, your team is built to where Jamil is in the meetings with the content experts. So here, the language acquisition expert with the. So how are you all working together so that it's almost modeling what that would look like then in a school setting? Can you talk at all to that?
So we've talked a lot about that, and we're looking as we continue professional learning for teachers, how are they jointly collaborative between our ML leaders and teachers and coaches with our other content coaches, because the only way to close the gap is to have both. We need those who have specialized skills around teaching language and language acquisition with those who have specialized skills around content. And so for our division, and as we think about helping our students be future ready, we cannot do it in isolation, right? To teach those skills, it has to be a focus on how content is a support, not the guide. Yes. And so when we think about our ML learners and the language piece being the need of focus, we have to have clear strategies. So we talk about sheltered instruction and how do we provide that sheltered instruction support to our general education teachers. I know as a system we had a really big focus years ago, but reinstituting that to support more of our general education teachers is going to be a critical need, and re-engaging some of our content leads and directors to make sure we have a common language around everybody being able to scaffold the support for our differently abled learners.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's and we have so many.
We do.
And so these are all best practices, and so I'm excited. When I look at some of our data, I know we can do better, and I know that that's what you believe as well. That's what you believe, and I know that's we're on that mission. We're on the mission for excellence for every student. And so, can you talk about anything else that might be new? So with our ML program, I know that you talked about really trying to hyper-focus this year on the collaboration between teachers. Can you talk about anything else that might be new with the ML program?
New, we also gonna extend the professional development because we want to reach more teachers. We want to be for every teacher because we want to make sure that they are prepared to scaffold instruction for our students, for every student in the classroom. We also want to extend our services for families because they are so important for us also as well. So we're going to extend our ESL classes also for families. We are extending our partnership with the National Center for Families Learning. And we're going to be able to open more ESL classes in Forest Park, in Holwood, and also in South Fork.
Okay.
So we want to reach more families because we want them also not only to learn English, but also to learn what is happening at school and how can they be the voice for the students. So that's our goal. So we are implementing new things. Good. And we are sure that everything is going to be great.
Yes.
Yes, and our students are so lucky to be in this district because they are important, and we want them to feel important, the students, the families, and the communities.
I agree. Whatever you need to make that happen, to make sure that our students, our families, and our community, our Hispanic community feel important. And not just Hispanic, I know multilingual learners, we have other languages. How many, I'm putting you on the spot, but how many different languages do we have in our district? Do you know that off the top of your head?
Right now, yes. Right now we have around 111, 115 languages.
That is a lot of languages.
Yes, that is a lot.
And so but the skills that we learn for language acquisition go across, correct?
Yes.
They go across languages. So because we don't have people that speak all those languages, right? We don't.
We don't.
So it really is about, just learning those skills for language acquisition and being able to use those all day long, which is, I think, what I love about the fact that you're expanding PD to everyone. It's not just about your ESL teachers, but all teachers. And so that sounds like another part of your goals. Did you want to add anything about that, Paula? Like, I know that we just had our big PD day for back to school. We're all teachers together at that. Were there breakouts?
So yes, so the way we structured is teachers have both choice and kind of like a must-do, can-do,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
So in content areas, we had content-specific professional learning, but other teachers were invited to participate. So it was not just the content teachers, like an ML teacher could participate as well, but then there were choice sessions. So general education teachers could also participate with some of our ML team. And so being able to have cross collaborative opportunities, we're trying to figure out as a district, how does that become a norm where we create an opportunity for both choice and required professional learning. And that's something we're still working on because there's never enough time. But the other part of that is our coaching model is a huge part of how we do that work and support by building the capacity of our district coaches to help school leads and school-based coaches to help us improve student outcomes.
Absolutely, and that takes me to the idea, I mean, I am a full believer, yes, you have to have district PD, but the learning, the most powerful learning happens in your school with a coach, with someone giving you great feedback and all that. So can you talk a little about, I'm a teacher, I get 5 students in my classroom Monday. They do not speak English, okay? They're officially, they've been assessed and they officially need services. I'm a new teacher. What do I do? How do I go? Where do I go? How do I make sure that I am prepared and that I am giving my students what they need? So talk a little bit about where do teachers go for support, but then also what is the model of supporting the students? So the model of support, but also then where do teachers go for support?
Yesterday, we make sure that our ESL teachers, our English language development teachers, they took that information, and we're gonna make sure that they're gonna share that with those new teachers, with the mainstream teachers. They're gonna be the first person to go to at schools, the ESL teachers. But also we have the coaches. We are in the process of hiring 2 more, but right now we have the coach, the district coach, and myself. So we are the support.
Okay.
So the new teachers, we also had the chance to work with them. So we provide PD for them the last week. So we were working with the new teachers and providing strategies and showing them where to find the information, where to find resources, where to find the tools that they need for those specific students the first day at school.
Okay.
So we made sure that they got that before receiving the students.
Okay.
If they have extra support, they know that they can reach the ESL teachers, and they can reach the coach, and they can reach me.
Okay.
So we are there for them because we are all together in this.
And now I'm a parent, and my child, I'm nervous. I'm new to the country. My child is going to school Monday. And what do you tell a parent about what does support look like for their child? Is their child going to be with their regular their general ed teacher, or you're saying mainstream teacher all day, and then the ESL teacher push in? Can you describe the model we use in our school district? And do you want in your vision to start to change that model at all?
I will tell the parents they're gonna be okay. They're gonna be okay. We are ready for them. We are so excited to have them back, to receive them at schools. So teachers are prepared with social and emotional learning activities to provide that support, because we know that the first day, it's the most difficult day sometimes for students, but we wanna make sure that parents know that we are there for them. They're gonna be in the classroom with the teacher, with the classroom teacher, with the mainstream teacher, but the ESL teacher is gonna be there also.
Okay.
And also the counselor is going to be there, the assistant principal. We're going to check on them all day long, because we want to make sure that they feel comfortable at school, that they're happy, that sometimes it takes time to adapt to new changes. But we as a school, as a department, as a district, we are making sure that they are receiving all the need, all the things that they need. And one of them is that social emotional support.
Yes.
That is needed the first day.
Absolutely.
And
go ahead.
I would also add just plan development. So we have a system that the ESL teacher will work with the general education teacher to create a specialized support plan.
Okay.
And that is a part of how we go about looking at support, deploying our ESL teacher, and determining what's the need, what's the level of need for all the students, based on where their language assessments tell.
And is the model we use most then the ESL teacher pushing in to support in the classroom then?
It depends.
Okay. Okay, is it based on that plan?
It depends.
It depends on the access information.
Okay.
And I know
It,
she's
it,
gonna.
it,
Okay.
it depends. Yes, it depends on the English development needs of each student.
Okay,
So we have they start with the pull out. So the ESL teachers make sure that they get that language acquisition that they need.
okay,
And we also have the pushing and the co-teaching.
Okay.
And that's the one that we are working on, pulling more and more,
Okay.
like the co-teaching,
Okay.
because we want that collaboration to happen.
Good.
And also we have the shelter instruction that we are providing to the content teachers,
Okay.
because we want to make sure that they are ready to scaffold
okay,
the instruction.
okay. So it could be a blend of all of the above based on what the student needs. And I mean, that's how we serve across all students.
Absolutely.
They might be pulled for just a little bit, but the
Yes.
goal is, and I'm glad to hear you say that, as our
Yes.
district, our vision is to move to more co-teaching, where students are the majority of the day having access to the language, and having access to communication with peers and all of that. And so I'm glad to hear we're moving more towards co-teach, but at the end of the day, there's a continuum of services. They might need something specific for a little bit and then right back in, and it just, okay, so it all depends on the student's need. And that is explained to parents, like early on in beginning of the
Yes.
school year?
Yes.
Okay,
The
okay.
parents, the first contact that they have, if they are new to the district,
Yep.
they go to the newcomer center,
Perfect.
where they receive all the information,
Yep.
and they receive the guide that they need.
Okay.
And they receive the answers that they're looking for.
Okay.
So, and that's the first place, and that the newcomer center is the place that we offer. We provide all the resources, and we guide them to go to school to feel confident and say, okay, now I know who to reach if I need support. We also have the dual language program, also for our multilingual learners. That is another way to serve them, because we want them to be bilingual also. So we have that opportunity for those families, for those students, to keep their native language, in this case Spanish, but also learn English.
Yes.
And they can be bilingual. So we have also the dual language program for them.
That's great. That's great. Are there any plans of, and this could be for both of you, of continuing to expand dual language
We would
immersion?
love to.
I know there's funds behind that.
Well, there is
request, but-
funding. There's also teacher training expertise, and so at the rate and the need. And so I think what we would love to as a system is to figure out how we can continue to communicate and get our enrollment in some places. Some of our dual language programs have lots of students enrolled, and there are others that are under enrolled. And so how do we get some of the under enrolled, the increased enrollment, so that families know that it's available? And I think one of the things we might want to do more is, how do we as a community have a campaign about the need for our dual language programs, because it helps students to be biliterate, right? And as we think about those 21st century learning skills and our durable skills, the future is about the opportunity to be able to communicate in multiple ways. And so our dual language programs help us do that.
Absolutely. Well, do you have, this is one chance, because we're like, not one chance, you're going to have lots of chances to communicate your vision and all that, but like, if folks watching this that really want to know, okay, there's Jamil, the new director of ML services and ML students and services. What else? Is there anything else you didn't say today that you're like, I really want to get that message out to our teachers, our parents, and the community in general? Like, here, anything else that you forgot to say or that you just didn't mention? And then, what is your ultimate vision for ML services in our school district?
Something that I just want to make sure that I think that I want to reinforce the collaboration. I think that's a message that has to be clear, and I think that we are all in this together, and that's my goal, to keep pushing for that, to keep that collaboration, to make sure that happens in every single school, because our students, every student needs that collaboration between teachers, not only ESL teachers and mainstream teachers, all the teachers. You see all the teachers that we have in the school. So I want to make sure that that happens. I want to assure families that we are here for them, that they are an asset for our district, that we want to keep growing, but we want to keep providing the services that they need, that they have interpretation services if they need. So I want to make sure that they know the process, how to request those services. So yesterday also we make sure that the teachers knew that information, because we want that information to go to parents, because they are the ones that need that. And we have those interpretation services and translation services also. And I want to make sure that they know the information and they know how to request the information. My vision is also to keep communicating in different languages. So because we need families to receive the information and to know what is happening at schools. So we are offering more tools to receive that information in the language they need.
That's great. Great. I hear two main things in your messages this morning. One is really about the work of our educators in collaborating on behalf of our students, and the other is really about families feeling connected, engaged, having the resources that they need, and also knowing how much we are excited that they're here. Like, we are so excited about that. And so I hope a lot of our parents, we may need to translate this episode of Let's Talk so that our parents and community can understand it, can hear this message. And so I'm excited about your leadership, Jamil, in leading us into the next phase, or the next few years, hopefully more than a few, next 10 years.
Yes, I'm sure.
And really getting great outcomes. Our students are so capable. I think in closing, we're doing a lot around inclusion, and I think that part of that is the messaging, and I know that yesterday, that we showed a graphic about language and words we're using, and I think that as we think about students, like, our students are all of our students, and so you'll hear me say a lot about what services are we providing what EC services are we providing to students? What ML services are we providing to students, versus I'm wanting us to start to move away as a system of EC students, ML students. They're our students, they're all our students. And so that is something, as we close, and this, we're wrapping up now, is that we are a district that believes in inclusion. All of our students learning, growing and playing, learning, playing, and growing together. And so we're going to keep at this. Our goal is excellence for all and incredible outcomes for all. So I know you're going to get us there when it comes to our work around ML services. So thank you so much for being here today. Paula, thank you. I'm excited about our vision for learning and teaching. That was also released, our VLT, it'll be called, but great things happening around instruction for all students in Winston-Salem County Schools. So thank you both for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you.